90-day fiance to about 90 farts in 2 days. Welcome, Stephanie Matto.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to talk about my fart business and everything else.
Of course, we're excited to have you. So I think we're genuinely curious, why farts? What went into the decision to start selling farts? Was it ever something that you wanted to sell something else, or was it solely based on requests that you received?
Well, I think the better question is why not farts? I think they're, the most natural, renewable resource that we as humans have. I felt like I was getting a lot of requests. So I'm the co-founder and CEO of my very own fan subscription platform called Unfiltered, which is one of the most up and coming brand new fan subscription sites. And we're constantly pushing boundaries and finding new innovative ways of monetizing ourselves. And I've been getting a lot of requests for the past year for, farts, people messaging me saying, hey, Steph, I've seen your face, I've seen your body, and I've always wondered what your farts smell like. So eventually I was like, you know what? I wonder if these guys are all talk. Let's put them to the test and let's put some farts up for sale and see what happens. So I decided to put up a batch of farts for sale. And it turns out that the first batch that I put up for sale sold out. And that's kind of where things snowballed out of control completely. And then subsequently, I made a TikTok called The Day in the Life of a Girl Who Sells Her Farts Online. And then that exploded, went viral, and then the rest is history.
It's so crazy. And I remember that I think we did that in our other article. So
yeah.
For the whole, I want to talk about Unfiltered as well, but is that kind of get your start on TikTok because of that video?
I've been on TikTok for a while, just kind of having fun, sharing my life, talking about my time on reality television. I was kind of, portrayed as like a villain on 90-Day Fiancé. But I also share like my life as being a content creator on Unfiltered, as being the CEO of Unfiltered and like managing the site. I have a lot of, amazing creators on the site as well, who are also like influencers, reality TV stars, but also just like the regular average, like a girl next door who's on the site. And like, so my everyday life is like managing these creators on the site, creating on the site, like talking to my fans all day, every day, like doing fart jars, selling weird stuff and like doing all these niche things. So I like share my life on there, but like that was the first video that really, really went viral and like, I guess kind of made me a TikToker. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I wear a lot of different hats, which is pretty cool. I'm a YouTuber, I'm a TikToker, I'm the CEO of Unfiltered. I am a fartrepreneur, world's #1 fartrepreneur, officially, I guess. Even though, a lot of girls have now tried to dabble in that as well, which I think is really cool. A lot of like mainstream Twitch streamers and models are now selling their farts, which I've seen. What's a little bit disappointing is that I've seen like a lot of girls not really credit me though, as the inspiration. That makes me a little bit sad.
OG of fartrepreneurship. So
yeah. Like I saw that in the months preceding, me coming out as selling my farts and going viral for that. I saw some girls kind of like, do what I do and sort of like, I'm not saying copy, but like follow in my footsteps exactly. And then really not pay any respect to what I did and not even like make any mention of me and like copy my business model exactly. And it's just like, are you going to pay any tribute to the OG, to your predecessor? Like what's going on? And like people in the comments are like, Stephanie did it first. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like at least at least mention me, at least be like, hey, shout out to Steph who like did this months ago, like who created this business model. So I thought that was like pretty interesting. But it's okay. I understand. I'm glad that I've made selling farts more socially acceptable and have been able to pave the way for some people at least.
For sure. And so along those lines, let's get into the details, the nitty gritty. How did you deal with the smell when you're doing this? What was that a problem ever? Did you have a specific fart room in your house or your apartment where you were like, okay, this is business, this is pleasure, you know what I mean? Like, did you hate that at all?
So I live in a pretty big home and I have 2 dogs. So I'm pretty much like used to odd smells in the first place. I open up the windows generally afterwards, so that isn't too much of an issue. And I mean, don't they say that you're generally a fan of your own brand anyway? So it doesn't really bother me too much. I don't mind it. I live alone, so it does nobody's really complaining. My dogs, they don't care. I think they generally enjoy it too. So no complaints.
Gotcha. And we also read, and I think when I was researching this, that it was around Christmas when you, when you had to go to the ER. Was it about 97 farts in 2 days? Is that correct?
It was around that total. I don't know. That whole entire period of time was like a complete blur because I was in the midst of completing so many orders. I was so motivated by the incredible amount of money that I was making at the time. I'll be honest, I got a little bit, crazy and overzealous with orders. And I was also so overwhelmed with how viral that story had gotten and how much media attention that I was getting. And it maybe perhaps got a little bit too much to my head. And I was definitely overproducing at the time. And I remember that night at the emergency room, it was a huge wake-up call to me. And it really hit me that I have to put my health first. I have to put my body first. And so that was officially when I decided that I would retire and refocus my energy into a different direction. That's when I really started to refocus on my fart jar NFT project, which ended up doing really successfully. I was really happy about that. And when I started to really refocus on, back on my fan subscription website and growing different features for the website, helping expand that. And, the fan subscription website's going really great. We have over 100,000 members. The money that I made from selling the fart jars, I put back into development of the website so I can give women and men on the site the opportunity to make as much money as I have selling my fart jars, so they can do what I do, so they can also be their own entrepreneurs. That makes me happy. That gives me a sense of purpose. So yeah, I'm launching more new developments and features on the site coming very soon, one very big one. So there's lots of very exciting things coming in the future. And I think that it's pretty crazy that my farts have been able to open so many doors in my life. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
That's amazing. And we'll get into that. We definitely want to hear this exclusive, this new project.
Yeah, definitely.
So, back when you were doing the fart jars, you had a very strict diet, and we were wondering if you could go into that a little bit. Was it more about, pumping out a quantity of farts or meeting a quota, or was it really just about the girthiness and the stench? Like, what were you going, or was it a little bit of both,
So I kind of got it down to an exact science with the foods that I was eating during the production of the fart jars. I figured out which foods were producing the stinkiest farts. I found that cabbage was producing the absolute nastiest farts, and I didn't like the farts that it was producing. Cabbage farts, it wasn't on brand for me. I'm a pretty girl, and it was just too much like of an old man looking, like it just, when you smell cabbage farts, it's too synonymous with like an old man, you think like hairy old bearded man.
Right.
And it was not on brand for me. So I was testing out different formulas, and I really liked what I was getting with protein and beans. I felt like it was pungent. It was a little bit like of a sweetness with it. And it was just like a zesty, nice, pungent fart. So that was kind of my go-to. And I also like the fact that it was a lot of kick with not a huge volume of food, that you could kind of just make a really nice big protein shake for yourself in the morning. You could do like a black bean salad for lunch, and then you just like kind of run some errands. And what's good is like, you know, you run your errands, you do a quick workout, and movement kind of helps enable that production of gas. I'm very scientific about it. Like I'm a businesswoman, you know, like I put a lot of thought into it, and I figured out a really good formula for it. So that was what I was kind of doing during my high volume of production in the beginning. And that was what I figured would work best. But there were some customers who were really, really particular about what kind of fart they wanted. So, you know, there was one guy who really wanted cheddar cheese farts, for example. That was his preference. So there was one day I ate a whole block of cheddar cheese. That was not pleasant, let me tell you. I was so fucked up from that for like 2 days. I can't even look at like cheddar cheese anymore. If I go to like any kind of restaurant, there's a charcuterie board. If there's cheddar cheese option, like fuck no, get that shit away from me. No. Yeah. Let me think what else. There's like certain things that I can't.
That's really, I feel like cheese blocks me up. So I couldn't even like produce a fart like that. So
yeah,
kudos to you for actually, you know.
Yeah, cheese makes me fart for some freaking reason. I don't know why, but I also like take probiotics, and I also do Fiber One. So like that Fiber One bars though, that's another thing I tried in the beginning. I ate a ton of those. No, also big no.
Yeah.
Absolute hell no. I ate like an entire box of Fiber One bars.
Words work.
I mean. Yeah, you learn very quickly on like what is a no and what is a yes. So yeah, the protein was like an absolute yes, and those were definitely like the way to go for me. Beans, chickpeas, any kind of like high protein foods are going to produce, you know, the best smelling farts I found. And then also these protein muffins, they are the Kodak cake protein muffins. Okay. They are actually referred to in the fitness community as fart muffins for a very, very good reason. And I've actually reached out for a sponsorship, and they did not reach back. So well, their loss. But yeah, like it was just a really, really crazy time. And I think that I definitely did do some permanent damage to like my colon during that time, because even to this day, I don't think I've like completely gone back to like regular bowel movements and everything, because you know, it was just, I did some crazy things. I ate a lot of like a huge like volume of like protein and fiber during that time. And it just wasn't healthy. And when I went to the ER that night of the fart attack, like when I told the doctor the things that I had been eating, his like jaw basically dropped. So it's not a healthy way to live. And I actually recently learned that on average, the average human being in a day farts about 14 times. So, you know, the fact that I was farting about like 40 to 50, and at one point, like maybe 90, like what the hell?
Yeah. No, that's not good for anyone.
No.
So based on these, you know, these guys requesting certain stenches, requesting cheddar cheese farts, farts aside, what is one of the most outlandish requests you've ever had that you were still like, hey, yeah, I'll fulfill this, but this is weird?
Yeah. I mean, one guy wanted to buy my mattress for $10,000. Yeah. He wanted to buy my mattress because he thought that like, well, I've had my mattress for like 5 years. Imagine the amount of farts that are in it.
Right.
Like there's so many farts like embedded in that mattress. But I was like, and then I started thinking, like mathematically calculating in my head, like, wait a minute, there's like thousands of farts in that mattress.
Right.
$10,000 is like a steal.
So did you like? Did he get it?
No. And I paid like $5,000 for my mattress.
Yeah.
Like, fuck no. And how many times did I like do stuff on my mattress?
Yeah.
There's not just farts in it. There's other things in it.
For
so
sure.
like $20K minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
hell no.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
What's another outlandish one that you actually did? You actually like, were like, okay, yeah, I'll do this.
I mean, I've like yelled at guys on the phone. So we have this feature on Unfiltered, which I specifically developed in the beginning of building the site because like I have a lot of clients who love this. I don't understand it, but I just go with it. Right. I have a few clients in particular who love this. They have this like mommy fetish where they like when I yell at them and tell them to clean their room and like punish them and ground them and like tell them they can't leave their room for like X amount of hours. I basically like put them into timeout. And I had this feature on the site where it's like you can set like a minute call rate. So I set it for like $100 per minute with these guys, and they call me for like 10 minutes and I yell at them for 10 minutes at $100 per minute. And I basically like fucking wring their asses out. Like, go to your freaking room, clean your freaking room right now, you little shit. Like it's so fucking hilarious. But like, and it's so hard because I have to stop myself from laughing because I want to laugh so hard, but I have to like keep a straight face because, you know, they're so into it. But like, you know, they love it. They want me to ground them and put them into timeout and tell them how fucking bad they've been. And that's basically what I do with a few of my clients. And there's one, his name's Brandon, and I've been doing this with him for like the past few months. And it's like, I don't even know where he gets the money for this. Like he spent literally like almost $10,000 on me grounding and punishing him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's one of the weirder ones.
Shout out to Brandon. You're a real one.
You're a real one. Yeah. You've been paying my mortgage. I'm almost done paying my house off because of this man.
That's incredible. And I've also we read a little bit about this. It's almost like a financial domination a little bit. Is that what you call it? Where it's like these guys know they're spending ridiculous amounts of money on some pretty weird things, but it's almost the novelty of it, you know? Mm-hmm. Like I like to spend my money on bobbleheads of sports figures. Other guys like to spend it on fart jars and, you know, mommy's yelling at them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like the whole thing, you know, I love to keep an open mind. I know everybody likes different things and I try my best not to judge. And I went into developing Unfiltered with an open mind. I want it to be a safe, free, judgment-free space where people can be unfiltered and where people can embrace who they are and do it in a fun, cool place. So that's kind of what it's all about.
That's awesome. And on the other hand, what are some of like the basic things that people ask for? Like you said, you have every type of creator on Unfiltered. So what are the basic things, maybe more simple things?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, this is just me, you know, like I'm kind of kooky and crazy, but we have everything. I mean, we have your influencers, your reality TV stars, we have your girl next door, we have your mom next door, we have your, you know, your very normal couple on there just looking to do a quick side hustle to spice up their love life. We have very normal people on there. We even have like fitness influencers just doing, you know, at-home workouts, trying to share like yoga routines. We have pretty much everything you can imagine on there. It's like a very, very versatile website that can be used as a very, very good monetization tool. So I think that it's like a website that can be like an all-in-one tool for monetization for all different types of people. I just happen to use it for these types of things because I'm a very outlandish person myself. But yeah, people use it to sell photos. People can use it to sell videos. People can use it to sell panties or whatever they want to. I think that it's a very exciting and fast developing website. And I'm very excited for the future of Unfiltered.
So cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So one more question about the farts and then we can kind of move on. were you disappointed that you had to retire because of health reasons? And do you have any regrets? And leading into that, how can you talk about how that led to the NFTs?
So I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Were you disappointed to have to retire from selling fart jars? And then can you talk about how that led into the NFTs?
So, when I retired, I was definitely a little bit sad and disappointed. I felt like it was the end of an era.
Yeah.
It was sad having to break it to a lot of my very loyal customers who came to love my fart jars and became a little addicted to the smell, I'd like to say. But then I like to, try out new things, and it led to a lot of new ventures. So then it opened the door into fart jar NFTs, which was definitely a very cool thing. I've always wanted to try that out. And the fart jar NFTs were definitely a success and something I'm still very much so involved in. And I'm currently working on an asset that's part of the fart jar NFTs. So anybody who mints a fart jar NFT will eventually unlock access to a build a brand program, and will, unlock one-on-one coaching with me as a part of that. And then also, I think there's like even the option to get, a rare fart jar, a real fart jar. If you do get one of those rare fart jar NFTs as well. So that's pretty cool. And they're adorable. If you can like attach an image, you'll see that they are very, very cute images as well. And I'm also just really interested in being involved in the NFT community. I'm very into crypto. We are actually launching peer-to-peer crypto payment on Unfiltered this week. So that's pretty huge. You will soon be able to pay with Bitcoin on Unfiltered. So that's something very unique that not a lot, I don't think almost any sites offer both cash payment and Bitcoin payment on, fan subscription websites. So that's pretty huge.
That's great.
Yeah.
So then let's talk, I guess we can get into the, we're calling it the aftermath, but it's not really aftermath, but life after farts, I guess.
Yes.
Do you have any regrets selling your farts? Did you get any feedback that was, positive or negative?
Do I have any regrets selling my farts? I think the only regret that I have is I'd regret not taking better care of my body. I regret going, so overboard and going so hard with that protein and bean diet. I feel like I really put myself at risk and put my life in danger for a minute there. And, I never feel like it's worth putting yourself in danger for money and for financial gain. So in that respect, I think that, I regret that. But other than that, I have no other regrets. I got a lot of hate. I got death threats. I had even family members calling me saying that they were disappointed and all this and that. But I don't care what people think about me. I live my life completely 100% for me. As long as I'm happy and I'm living my best life and I have a beautiful home and I'm surrounded by people that I love and my dogs are living an amazing life, that's all that really matters to me. I'm fulfilling my life purpose, and that is having an amazing business that I'm super proud of, that, makes other people's lives better. I keep on pushing myself to be a better person, and I'm challenging myself and I'm doing things that excite me. So that's what makes me happy. And I sleep very peacefully at the end of the night, and that's great.
That's great. Have you ever been, now obviously you're a reality TV star, have you ever been public you know, just out and about, either for your fart jars or for Fiancé?
Yes. Yes. So I do get recognized quite a bit. I get recognized a lot for the reality TV stuff. So, you know, especially my hometown. Like I was at Home Goods the other day and someone was like, oh my gosh, are you from 90 Day Fiancé? And they wanted a picture with me. They wanted to send it to their family. And I love that. Like, I think it's so cute when people recognize me. I think for the farts, people like are less likely to come up to me because it's a little bit more like, they don't want to say that they know me for that. But, you know, for the reality TV stuff, definitely.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Sorry. Lost my spot.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. So we talked a little bit about you bossing people around. What other avenues are you taking now to kind of supplement what was coming in with the fart jars? So obviously you said these are like $100 a pop for, you know, for an hour for somebody to come, you know, for you to just mommy them. What other avenues are you taking? What other requests are you getting? To kind of replace what was.
So I make very, very good income on my unfiltered page. So basically I've just gone back to business as usual. I do my sexy stuff on there. I do farting videos. I do farting on my phone call feature on the site. So people will call me and like to hear me fart on the phone. So I'm not really doing fart jars anymore, but you know, I'm still doing like farts on video, farts on the call, but I'm not bottling them anymore. And it's definitely not like a huge volume of farting. And I think that that's just much more sustainable. And when I send out a video of me farting one time to 6,000 fans on my unfiltered, you know, it's much different than selling one fart to one person. It's just, you know, the volume, it's much different. You're able to make more money with that one video to 6,000 fans. So it's just a lot more sustainable in that sense. And I am, you know, always thinking of new ventures. I just started up a new YouTube channel and I have a few other things up my sleeve. I'm working on a new feature for the site right now. It's the auction feature, and I'm going to be actually working on auctioning off some items very shortly. There's one item that I'm looking to auction off very soon. It is the last remaining fart jar.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah. So this is one of the last fart jars that I made, actually, that I will auction off once the auction feature on the website launches, which will be hopefully very soon. So that's definitely in like the pipeline. And then also when the auction feature on the website launches, which is huge, like that's a very big feature that I've been working with the developers on having soon. When that launches, that will be very, very big. But I also have a wait list right now of people who are waiting in line to purchase my bed sheets.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I'm working on. So it's like people just want like ways to get close to me and to get like my possessions, my items. I think the novelty of really just being able to experience me in all ways. And I think, you know, I started thinking like, well, people really want to get a chance to be in bed with me and they may never get that chance because, you know, how can they? So what's the next best way? My bed sheets. So like I'm calling the business venture Holy Sheets. So
nice.
Yeah. So, but it is going to take a little bit of time because, you know, like I want the sheets to really be slept in for a few days before they go out. And, you know, I've had about 87 people get onto the wait list for them. So that's like about 87, like, you know, that's a lot of days of me sleeping in them. So it's like, they're going to be on like back order for a while. So people are on a pretty hefty wait list at this point.
That's super interesting. And
yeah.
you're comfortable with it. You're totally comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. I can't believe this is my life right now, but it's pretty amazing. And like the money that I've been able to make with my platform Unfiltered is pretty awesome. And like, I'm glad that I've been able to save for my future with this money and help others, but also I've been able to put that money back into the site as well and put it into future developments, put it into creating a fun, enjoyable space that helps bring creators and their fans closer together in new, unique, fun, safe ways. So I'm really proud of it.
That's great. Now, how has the fart jar experience either interfered with or even complemented your career as an actress?
I thought that it was going to interfere in a lot of negative ways. Sex work is very taboo and there's a huge stigma surrounding it, but I am trying to break that stigma any way that I can. In the beginning, I was so nervous. I thought that like, oh God, my network, everybody's, they're going to fire me. I'm done here. I'm going to be shunned from society. Yet somehow I'm still here. I'm still here in the public eye and like on like TV. And it's like, ooh, it's kind of crazy. So I think that it's helping remove the stigma and like allowing people to feel a little bit more comfortable with these sorts of things and letting people feel less ashamed about, sex and sexuality, and that like these things aren't weird. Like we all have sex, like we all have these body parts. We're all into weird stuff. Like everybody farts. It's okay. Stop being so weirded out by it, Like that hot girl over there, she farts. She takes massive dookies. Like, like
Absolutely.
It's all good.
You're doing an amazing job, really, just opening the door, because it's still a taboo for some reason. And this is just opening, I think, so many doors for so many people,
Yeah. And you'd be so surprised at like how many like successful, like conventionally successful, normal people are, sometimes on these fan subscription websites, in private, who are on there just to have fun and express themselves and just like do something to spice up their sex life and to feel something again. They're not on there to make money sometimes. They're on there really simply just to have a good time. Yeah. And like these sites can offer that. And it's not always just about like a side hustle.
Right. That's a great point. So just back to you real quick. So how did the reality TV thing start? Now, were you like part of a casting call? Was this something for 90 Day Fiancé, obviously? Was this something that you were genuinely looking for love, or were you trying to maybe just get your foot in the door as like a successful actress?
So I think it was a little bit of both. And I think that everybody who goes on a reality TV show, most people these days, I think that it's a little bit of both. I mean, like, why else are you going to put yourself out there like that? I mean, if you go on a reality TV show, there's got to be a little bit of a business motive. Yeah. I mean, like you're going to be put out there for the wolves. Like you have to go out there with some kind of game plan because you have to make the most of it. Otherwise, you're just going to get ripped to shreds and be left with nothing because networks oftentimes don't really pay you a lot of money. So, you might as well. So I really had genuine feelings for my partner that I went on the show with. We had talked for quite a while before going on the show. We agreed to go on the show together and explore these feelings that we had for each other. We unfortunately just did not, well, unfortunately, I can only speak for myself. I did not really have super, super, super deep feelings when I arrived, and we just weren't compatible. And I think that I definitely made the most of my online success, even though I will say I was definitely not the more liked person in that relationship as far as like, how people received me online. But yeah, like still, despite that, I did make the most of it. Like I took those villain shoes that I was dealt and I wore them. I wore them nicely.
And you've kind of turned that into, I guess, multiple, shows and seasons, because right now, I believe season 2 of Single Life is.
Yeah. I'm on Single Life now. And like, I've just, I've done like little spinoffs here and there. I was on Pillow Talk and I've done like 90-day diaries. And so I'm always involved in like the 90-day world, which is cool. Every time they call me back to do something, I'm like, oh, you guys still want me? I can't imagine why. Like, I thought you guys would want to get rid of me. So it's always cool when they want to get me involved in something. I'm pretty grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's great. And so as far as like being a reality star and being, being known for your farts, how has that affected having or trying to find, a relationship, if that's what you're looking for? Like I've seen on Instagram that you are dating someone, you're seeing a boyfriend. How does that affect, and you don't have to talk specifics, but like, how does that affect a relationship knowing that, okay, some guys out there have smelled my girlfriend's farts, or like, on this, you've done reality TV and you've done the dating thing. How does that affect a relationship?
Well, I am with someone right now, and this person's super private and loves what I do. He's kind of like like a managerial type where he like he's behind the scenes. Yeah. He's kind of like advising me, telling me how I should go about doing things. And he's my support. Yeah. And that's exactly the type of person that I need. It's like, it fits so perfectly in with my life. Right. He doesn't try to be a part of the spotlight. He doesn't try to take away from my spotlight. He doesn't try to control what I do. He doesn't try to stop what I do. He doesn't have an issue with what I do. He helps, he assists. It's like, oh my God, it couldn't be any more perfect. I love it. And it's like, it just fits perfectly into my life. And I'm so happy. The only thing that sucks about my relationship is that he's in France. Yeah.
Long distance is not fun.
Yeah. And 90 Day wants in on that so bad. They're like, get him on the show. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, I don't want this on the show at all. Like, this is like, finally, first time in my life, I have like a normal, stable, healthy relationship. And it's like, I just want this only for me. Yeah. It's so good and secure. I would never want it to be destroyed by a show or social media or anything. It's like, it's just perfect. I'm going to keep it for myself.
Yeah. And that's what it should be,
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Do you have anything for me? Anything else you want to plug? We're happy to talk about, but this has been great.
I know, it was actually such a fun interview. I think we covered so much. Yeah. I can't even think of anything else.
Great. This was awesome. This is so great. You were so great. It was so nice meeting you.
Thank you.